All right, everybody. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take our first look at the Draft Kings lineups here, seeing where people are going, seeing where all the values may be had, some our early thoughts on what's going on, and all this is definitely subject to change after the preseason games have happened. Injuries are going to happen, opportunities are going to open up, and things will definitely change. But I definitely want to get in here and look at things that we can kind of point out, things that we can look forward to, things you may want to target for week one on DraftKings. This is the 5 million fantasy football millionaire, 1 million to first place. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break down by position kind of what we're looking at here. The thing that I like to do when I play DraftKings is I always don't ever start from the top. I always like to start at the bottom in most positions because I want to see where these values are. People that we can get that may not be the 7,700 Patrick Mahomes, 7,600 Justin Herbert. You know, we want to try to see if we can find some value. So let's see. We can kind of scroll down here and we're already getting to people that I wouldn't want. I want to find who's the lowest quarterback that I'd be willing to plug into my lineups, depending if you play 150 lineups or just a single bullet. Some people do maybe 3 lineups or whatever. See where you want to mix it up at. Let's start at the bottom. I think the very lowest person that I may put in would be Daniel Jones going up against Tennessee. But for just, and he's going at 5,000, but just for $100 more, you've got Zach Wilson going up against Baltimore. Now, Baltimore definitely struggled last year with the pass. They did add a free safety and free agency this season from the Saints, but I think if I had to go and wanted to kind of punt on quarterback, Zach Wilson could be a good opportunity for us to have going against the Baltimore defense. The Jets are going to be down early and often quite a bit. So that's somebody that he could put up some garbage time points up for you, some yardage for you. And you got the new rookie in there, wide receiver, got the rookie running back in there as well. So I think it's going to be a tough day for the Jets overall, but I think there's passing yards to be had for Zach Wilson against this Baltimore's defense. And as we kind of go through, I want to stay on that quarterbacks. Daniel Jones wouldn't be terrible, you know, absolutely terrible to play, but for $100 more, I definitely would feel better with Zach Wilson. Somebody you may be able to go for, maybe Baker Mayfield if he ends up, as everybody thinks, going to be the starter over Sam Darnold going against his old team in Cleveland, even though Cleveland does have a good pass defense. If you want to play the revenge narrative there, that's something you may want to go and take a dagger. He's not going to be very high owned. Somebody you may be able to get away with and get a little sneaky. So Davis Mills against Indianapolis, I'd probably stay away from that. I'm not liking that. Jameis Winston could be a good opportunity against Atlanta's porous defense. I think we're going to air out the ball quite a bit. I think Jameis Winston is fiending to be known as the guy for the New Orleans Saints. So I think he could be somebody you could plug in and get a little sneaky. Only at 5,300 could work out. I really wouldn't want Mac Jones against Miami's defense. I really wouldn't want Jared Goff against Philly's defense. Carson Wentz could be a sleeper. Possibility against Jacksonville. I just don't like Carson Wentz overall as a player, so he would be kind of hard. But we'd have to look at it when it gets a little bit closer. Matt Ryan could have a huge game against Houston. It just depends on how fast they get the lead, right? Because with Jonathan Taylor in town, Jonathan Taylor is going to eat up the Texans. And so will Matt Ryan. But if they're getting up to a 3-4 touchdown lead by the second quarter, they're not going to need Matt Ryan to throw for 300 plus yards. They're just going to hand the ball off. So this could be kind of scary if Houston's offense is able to somehow keep up at least halfway decent with Indianapolis. Matt Ryan could have a monster game. The thing that scares me away is there's an opportunity for a huge blowout risk here. And when you're having a blowout, then they're not going to be throwing the ball. They're just going to hand the ball off. So that's kind of scary. Stay away from Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence until they can show anything. Tua, overall, he could probably be a good DFS play later down the road. But you got Bill Belichick being able to take all offseason to plan against Tua. I don't think he's going to be somebody you want to target. Ryan Tannehill with the rookie, and he's got Robert Woods. We don't know how that chemistry is going to be. I would stay away from Tannehill in week 1 to see what you got. Another interesting one could be Derek Carr. Derek Carr going against the Chargers secondary. Chargers do have a decent secondary, but now with Devontae Adams on the field and Darren Waller, this could be a nice prolific offense. I do see Derek Carr. He's at 5,900 so far in week 1. I do see Derek Carr's value or price salary rising over the next few weeks as they kind of see what's going on. A good sleeper to take a stab on, Trey Lance. Trey Lance he's got the feet, he's the mobility, he's got a lot of mobility, he can move around the pocket, and Chicago's defense isn't very good. Somebody at 6,000 you could take a stab at and be pretty beneficial with that. Let's break down. Let's see, Kirk Cousins. I actually do like Kirk Cousins in this situation. Green Bay versus Minnesota. It should be a nice shootout. There's weapons on the Minnesota side that, I mean, Justin Jefferson, there's not many better wide receivers out there that can compete. I don't think Green Bay's defense is going to be able to hold up to Justin Jefferson. And on the other side, you got Aaron Rodgers. Even though there are question marks around his wide receivers, you can't really ever, count out Aaron Rodgers. So that should be a nice shootout that you could be able to take advantage of. I'd rather the Kirk Cousins over the Aaron Rodgers in that situation. And then we got one of my favorite players is probably Jalen Hurts in week 1 going against Detroit's defense. Jalen Hurts is going to hurt you on the ground. He's going to hurt you through the air. He's somebody you can definitely target at 6,800. I would actually rather go Jalen Hurts than a lot of these other players. I'd rather go Hurts over Mahomes. I would rather go Hurts over Herbert, not because I think he's a better quarterback, but I think the value is there. If I wanted to pay up at quarterback, I would definitely have to say Lamar Jackson. I don't think the Jets have any opportunity to stop Jackson and what he does, whether it's on the ground or through the air. Jackson hyper targets 2 players, the number 1 wide receiver and Mark Andrews. So that's pretty much what that is. So if you want to pay up high, I would say either do Lamar Jackson. If you want a little bit more of a discount, I'd say Jalen Hurts. This is early on, obviously. I think other good players that you could probably pick would be Trey Lance. It would be good for fantasy. And if you want to go way down here, we're going to either talk about Matt Ryan or where's he at? I was just talking about him. I put it right here. Zach Wilson. I don't need to do that so I can have him in the list. That's where I would go if you're looking at quarterback, and that's kind of where I want to stay. Let's move on to running back and see what we have. This is one of the few times I'm going to recommend the very top guy. At 9,100, we've got Taylor that is going to absolutely eat against the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are ranked one of the worst run defenses last year, and I don't think they got much better at all on the defensive side of the football. So Jonathan Taylor is going to be able to run early and often. It depends. If they can get out to an early lead, it should be the Jonathan Taylor show. I don't think there's any opportunity for him to fail in this position. I would say go ahead and take Jonathan Taylor as your number 1 running back and then kind of build around him. There's no player on DraftKings right now, points per dollar, that's going to match what Taylor is going to be able to do to Houston. But again, like I do everybody, I like to scroll down to the bottom. And we're going to look for who the lowest person we would like to have on our team. And it's probably going to be Brian Robinson Jr. would be okay. I don't know. He could get a goal line carry here or there. Could be nice. Tyler Algier could be somebody, depending. Right now, he was reported, I think, yesterday as the number 8th running back or something on the list. That shouldn't carry. He should be the number 1 running back, I'm hoping, for week 1. And if that's the case, at 4,500, you get an absolute steal with Tyler Algier at running back. So you could pair up easily. If Tyler Algier is named the starter, you can have Tyler Algier and Jonathan Taylor starting out, and that's not starting out too bad. The one thing that I hate about Tyler Algier is he's going against the New Orleans Saints, and I'm pretty sure they ranked 2nd or 3rd overall in rushing, and they were the best defensive DK points allowed. So somebody you may want to stay away from, but if you want to have just this dart and you need some kind of trash to put in, look at Tyler Algier. Brian Robinson Jr. could be a dart you could throw, get you a couple fantasy points, and help you fit the other pieces in. Let's go ahead and start scrolling up a little bit. Trey Sermon, they got a lot of things good coming out of camp with him. You might want to keep an eye on him and see if Elijah Mitchell will be the true ball carrier there, or will they allow people like Jeff Wilson or Trey Sermon to also get some carries. Marlon Mack, if he's named the starter for Houston, I don't like it against the Indianapolis defense, but this again, at 4,700, he's somebody you can just throw a dart at and maybe get some few points, especially if you're talking about a starting running back. Let's scroll up a little bit more. I don't really like Mostert. Pierce, I don't think Pierce is going to start. Johnson, Williams, Burkhead. Isaiah Spiller could get you a few points. I don't think he's worth taking stabs at when you're talking about DraftKings. And we're scrolling up. Michael Carter could get you some pass catching opportunities. He's a good pass catching back. Even with the rookie there, I still believe that Michael Carter could be getting his opportunities out the backfield with either swing passes or screen passes. Could rack up some points if he does well. Let's go ahead and go up a little bit more. Chase Edmonds is somebody that you might be able to play if he is the starter right now. It's between him and Matt Breida, I believe it is, that's going head to head. They're not sure who's going to be starting. Let me see. Actually, it's Mostert. Matt Breida is with the Giants. I keep forgetting which ones are which, but Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert right now is co-starters on the depth chart, so you could kind of go that route if you want to. Where were we? Here we go. Now we're starting to get into some players that you really could lean on for week one and possibly have some really good numbers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire going against Arizona. I really like this play. I think at 5,400 you're getting a decent value for a running back. Miles Sanders. I do like Miles Sanders at 5,400. Not sure if I want to promote Miles Sanders because I know how much Jalen Hurts is the offense on the ground. He actually had more carries than Miles Sanders last season. So Breece Hall against Baltimore, I would definitely stay away from. Breece Hall is going against this Ravens defense who loves to stop the run. Being a rookie running back with a sophomore quarterback against a stud defense in Baltimore, stay away. Stay away from him. Ramondre Stevenson could be somebody you could look at, possibility, if they did end up trading Damian Harris. I know they're having rumors out there about Damian Harris. J.K. Dobbins I would stay away from. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week one or not. Travis Etienne Jr., somebody that I would love to recommend to you guys at 5,600 going against Washington. I think it's going to be a really, really good matchup for Jacksonville to be able to exploit, especially through the air for Travis Etienne. Dink and Duncan. People are very excited to see where he's going to be this season. And I think that's somebody you can probably look at a decent value at 5,600 to plug into your lineup, even if you put him in the flex. Kareem Hunt, not sure if I want to go that route yet. He rumored he wanted to get traded. The team's like, no, I don't want to get traded. I don't know if the team's going to have any backlash on that, saying, oh, you wanted to get traded? We're not going to pass you the ball as much. So his output could decrease from last year. Plus, he's going against Carolina's defense, who was actually pretty good against the run last season. Gibson I would stay away from because he's in a three-headed monster right now. I'm not sure how that's going to go. David Montgomery could be a nice pickup for you against the 49ers defense. There's not many running backs that's going to take much from him. There is the other running back there, but I'm not sure if he's going to take up enough to warrant you to stay away from Montgomery. Again, if you're looking for a cheaper option at 6,000, Montgomery could be it for you, but I would rather pay $100 more and actually grab Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is the 3-down back there. There is no other running backs there. That's where Matt Breida is, and he's not taking any reps away from Barkley. And they're going against Tennessee. Tennessee does have a good run defense from last year, but I believe they're not going to be as good this year. And I would take the value right now, Saquon Barkley. He's probably an 8K player that's down here at 6,100 just because of his past. Next, we got Josh Jacobs, somebody you could take advantage of. I know they're having rumors about him maybe leaving next year or whatnot. Not sure if he's going to be the back for the team, but right now he is the number one running back for the Raiders. Somebody you may want to be able to plug and play against the Chargers and have decent success. And on the flip side of what I just said about Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, I actually do like Nick Chubb against Carolina's defense, even when they have a solid running defense over there. I just think Kareem Hunt's going to get less of a timeshare because he wanted to be traded. So I think Nick Chubb could be a sneaky pick at 6,500. Now let's go ahead and go up to Aaron Jones. I actually like Aaron Jones this week going against Minnesota. I think it should be a shootout. There's not a lot of wide receivers there. Aaron Rodgers could choose to dink and dunk a lot, which could help Aaron Jones out with some more pass catching opportunities and only to lead him to some more points. DeAndre Swift could be a very good player at 6,800. He's going against the Philadelphia Eagles. They can definitely exploit on the run against the Eagles, although I like the new rookie Jordan Davis, defensive tackle for the Eagles. He's showing out at camp right now. But DeAndre Swift could be a nice piece that you could put into your lineup at 6,800. Next, we're going to go with Joe Mixon. I love Joe Mixon going against Pittsburgh. They couldn't stop anyone. They could have a peewee football team out there. They wouldn't be able to stop those running backs. Joe Mixon is a part of the running game for a high-powered offense with Joe Burrow as the quarterback. I don't think Joe Mixon, you can't miss with Joe Mixon. He's going to give you plenty of points early and often. He's got a very good history recently against Pittsburgh as well. Put him into your lineups. Be happy. If you're starting out with Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon as your two running backs on Draft Kings, I think that's a solid start, and then just kind of build around that. I wouldn't go with Alvin Kamara right now. We're not sure how the offense is going to look and how much workload. He's not going to have the workload like Drew Brees is in the backfield, all the dinking and dunking. So I want to wait and see on Kamara, see how it goes. Even though they're going against Atlanta, I love the Saints against Atlanta, but it's something that if we're talking about DraftKings, let's wait and see on that guy. There's plenty other great options that you can choose. Dalvin Cook. I'm liking Dalvin Cook, but I would rather the receiving options more on Minnesota. I think it's going to be more of a shootout and less of a run game. Austin Eckler is always a good choice. He was an amazing running back last year. He's going to be an amazing running back this year. I don't think Isaiah Spiller is going to take much of an opportunity away from him. I think he's going to be the man in the Chargers. And I would get in Christian McCaffrey while you can. 8,500 for Christian McCaffrey. He is everything. He's the pass catcher, the runner, everything you could possibly do. Christian McCaffrey is going to be the guy. They're going to feed him early and often. And then Derrick Henry. Do I even need to talk about Derrick Henry? The dude is a bulldozer. Doesn't matter if he has nobody on his team. Nobody can stop Derrick Henry. He should be healthy back from his injury from last season. I think he's going to do well for your fantasy teams. So let's go ahead and move on to the wide receivers. And like I do everywhere else, let's go ahead and start at the bottom and see wide receivers that we could pick. Let's start working our way up. Wan'Dale Robinson, looks like he should be locked and loaded at minimum 3K right here. Could be somebody you can throw into your lineup and have some success with. I do like him. Looks like he's going to be a good one, just based on what we saw in camp. Let's go ahead and scroll up a little bit. See, I'm still not seeing anything I really like down here. But I always like to go through. This is kind of what my process is when I do DraftKings. I want to see the people that I can get it for a value and then kind of build around that. And I would recommend people doing that. I think a lot of people plug and play their top ones and they just settle with whoever they can have at the bottom. But if you start with your values first, I think your team can shape out to be a lot better than what you think. All right, so now we're starting to get in some players here. Paris Campbell, I do like Paris Campbell if he can stay healthy right now. He just has a hamstring issue right now, but he should be healthy for week one. Paris Campbell could be a sneaky play for week one. I think they're going to throw all over Houston. It just depends on how much they're going to need to throw. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling up. Who do we like in here? David Bell. I love David Bell as a player. I just don't like if Jacoby Brissett is going to be the quarterback. I don't think the volume is going to be there for David Bell, but if for some reason Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback, David Bell could be an amazing value at 3,600 going against Carolina. I think they're going to throw early and often against them. Let's see. Going up. Oh, Darlin from last year, Braxton Berrios. Could be somebody you want to throw in. I would probably stay away from, even though he was very good for the fantasy football playoffs last year. Pickens, you might want to keep an eye out on Pickens and see what he does in the preseason. He's showing out right now in camp, so he could be an amazing pick. We'll see like that, but at 4,100, definitely worth something if he can crack one of the starting lineups. We're going to go ahead and scroll up some more. Chris Olave, somebody that's showing out in camp as well. He's definitely going to be involved. And at 4,500, you can't really go wrong with that. And on the flip side, the other rookie right here, Garrett Wilson, going against Baltimore's poorest pass defense at 4,700. You can tag up Olave and Wilson, have two rookies into your lineup right now. You're saving a lot of value. That way you can probably pay up at tight end pay up at quarterback, and then you're looking really good. Especially if you can get that combo, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews with some of these others. Maybe you can get, you know, we'll try to build something actually. Let's go ahead and put these two. Now that we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and grab this. While we're here, let's grab that Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews combo. The running backs, 9,100. And where was Mixon at? Let's just see if we can make a lineup. And look, you still got 3,500 for 3 players. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll kind of play it by ear. We'll play it by ear. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let's do, who is the, we were talking about, where is he at? Wan'Dale Robinson. We can put him as a third, a good value spot right there. All right. So let's go to wide receiver back. Let's get back to where we were doing. Get back. We're going to try to build a little lineup over there and see how it does. Now that we're scrolling back up a little, Devontae Parker going against Miami, going against his old team. I think he could probably do something. Could be the #1 wide receiver for the Patriots. Could be hyper targeted in this offense. Not a lot of other opportunities for other receiving options. Could be going against Miami. You never know. Could be some fireworks. Could be somebody you might want to take a stab at. Kenny Golladay, does he go back to the opportunities that he had before where he was a stellar #1 wide receiver with the Lions? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I wouldn't recommend putting him in your lineup in week 1. Drake London going against New Orleans. I would not advise that. He's going against some of the best defensive backs in the league. No, stay away from that. Jarvis Landry could be somebody you want to fit into 5,000. Could be somebody. He's looking really good in camp. Good possession receiver. I kind of like that play. Let's go on. Rashad Bateman could be the guy who's hyper targeted by Lamar Jackson. Again, wait and see how it goes. Juju Smith-Schuster, we don't know how that's going to play in the offense, but he has an opportunity with Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball to be a really good fantasy player. So, again, another wait and see guy. Michael Pittman Jr., I really like this play. My whole problem with that is Matt Ryan and Pittman Jr., you could probably tag that up, have a nice offense. But if they blow out Houston early, then they're not going to get many points down the stretch in the end of the 3rd and 4th quarter. So somebody you want to be aware of. Allen Lazard, if you think he's going to be the true #1 wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers, you might want to throw him into this shootout here against Minnesota. Allen Lazard coming in at 5,600 could be a good opportunity for you. Now, one of the guys I did want to talk about is Michael Thomas. Is he going to go back to where he was, 8,000 player, or will he just be just a Joe Smo now? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how the offense uses it, how healthy is Michael Thomas. But at 5,700, if you wanted to take a stab with this guy, I wouldn't blame you. Hunter Renfrow, I do kind of like, but I want to sit him down because with Devontae Adams coming over, Hunter Renfrow, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for him. Amari Cooper, again, not sure who's going to be the quarterback. If it's Jacoby Brissett, I don't want any shares of Cooper. I may get a little bit of shares of Cooper if Deshaun Watson is the quarterback. I don't like many of these players. No. Brandon Cooks could be somebody. He's going to be hyper targeted. There's nobody on the offense with Cooks. So Cooks could be a good opportunity at 6,300. Get you some good solid points. I do like A.J. Brown coming in at 6,400. Could be somebody you could plug and play. I think with him coming over in the trade on draft day, I think they're going to try to hyper target A.J. Brown just to kind of show him, hey, look, we do want you here. Terry McLaurin just signed his new deal going against Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Carson Wentz and McLaurin could have some type of rapport early on. McLaurin should have a decent fantasy season as long as he can stay healthy. Somebody you could definitely plug into your lineup at 6,500. Tyreek Hill, we don't really know what we're going to get from him, but I would probably stay away from him in week 1. I think Belichick could have a nice plan for Tyreek Hill to kind of slow him down. I do like Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase against Pittsburgh's defense could be solid. I'm just more about that run game. I think Mixon's going to have the best offensive day on the Bengals. So at 7,100, I'm not sure if I want to pay up that much for it. And for my #1 pay up option for at wide receiver will be Justin Jefferson at 7,800 going against Green Bay. He should light them up. Not a lot of people who can stay with Justin Jefferson. So he's somebody that I definitely would want to put into my lineup. All right, so now we go to tight end. Let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit. You don't have to scroll far. I think the one I would want at the lowest could possibly either be Hayden Hurst or Brian Jordan right here for Houston. Either one of these guys, if you want to punt on tight end, I wouldn't blame you. Hurst going against Pittsburgh's defense. Again, nothing that I'm like going and streaking in the street for, but you know, could be a good opportunity. Brian Jordan, they're going to be down early and often. They're going to need somebody to throw to other than Brandon Cooks. And Jordan could have the opportunity. Could be a sneaky play at 3,100. So let's go ahead and scroll up a little bit here. Evan Ingram, I do like him. He's going against Washington. Could have a good opportunity here, depending on, you know, if he wants to hyper target some of these Marvin Jones or any of these guys in the wide receiving core. But Evan Ingram's fast. He has good hands. Could be somebody that could build a quick rapport with Lawrence and put up some solid fantasy numbers against Washington. Cole Kmet, I do like Cole Kmet this season going against San Francisco. They normally play pretty well against the tight end, but I think that there's not many options on this offense to throw to other than Darnell Mooney. So Cole Kmet could be somebody that can come into this offense and see, you know, he can get a touchdown a game or something like that. It should be pretty solid. Gerald Everett could be somebody that you look at. He could be somebody, I don't know, nothing that's gonna, like, you know, blow your pants away, but he could have some solid fantasy outputs. And going against the Raiders, I think it's gonna be just Herbert flinging the ball everywhere, and Everett could come down with some touchdowns or some solid plays for this team. Pat Freiermuth, I do like him. I think whether whoever you have, whether it's Trubisky or the rookie at quarterback, they're going to look for Freiermuth to be that safety blanket for him, right? So he's somebody you could definitely plug in at 4,200. Who else do I like? I love TJ Hawkinson, again, going against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is notoriously bad against tight ends. TJ Hawkinson could be in for a line of a lot of pass catching opportunities. I believe Philadelphia should be beating the Lions early and often, which puts Hawkinson in a negative game script, which he should be able to have nice receptions. Go ahead and plug in TJ Hawkinson at 4,900 for an amazing value piece. Not liking Kyle Pitts yet. I got to see what's going on. Not too crazy about Travis Kelce or Kittle, but I do love Mark Andrews against the Jets. I think it's going to be a nice firework type of thing, where you can get plenty opportunities. He's going to be hyper targeted by Lamar Jackson, and that's going to be pretty solid. So what we want to do is go to the defense here, scroll all the way to the bottom, and see what defense we can kind of get away with as far as the cheapest option. The Lions against Philly, no, don't think so. Raiders against Herbert and that flying offense, no, we don't want that. The Bears stopping the San Francisco, could possibly go here, but I'm not too crazy about that. Vikings defense, it should be they should be going all over the field, scoring on each other. I don't really want that. The Jets defense against Baltimore, absolutely not. The Giants defense against Tennessee, now this could be somebody that you can plug and play. There could be a good opportunity that you can plug and play against Tennessee's offense, because we're not sure who's gonna be out there. But with Derrick Henry running all over the field, I don't know if I want a piece of that. We're gonna scroll all the way up here. I think the first defense that I would want to get a piece of would be the Dolphins. The Dolphins going against Mac Jones in this offense, I think, could be something special. So we could play that in 2,600. We still got 4,900 left on our salary for our flex position. Let's go ahead and scroll down at 4,900 and see who we can plug in. KJ Osborne, Spiller, Burkhead, TJ Hawkinson, just the guy I was talking about. Bada bing boom baps. Going against Philadelphia, they're not going to start. So if I had to throw out a quick lineup right here, Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Wan'Dale Robinson, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, and Dolphins defense. Guys, this could be a quick lineup early on. Leave a comment down below. Tell me if you like this lineup, if there's something you would change in the lineup. Do you like some of the players? Do you not like some of the players? Just leave me a comment down below. It would really help out the video, help out the algorithm. Let me know some of the things that are going on and what you're kind of seeing in these videos. If you guys like these videos, let me know. This is the first time I'm doing like a first look for DraftKings. I could do it every week if we like this. I'm not sure where I want to go as far as DraftKings and how many videos I want to put out. But if you guys like this kind of content, definitely let me know. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it out. Other than that, give me a thumbs up, share the video, like, comment, do all that good jazz. Other than that, we'll see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.